had a lot of rain this past week in Gauteng where we live. And for some of our American watchers or people that tune into our YouTube channel from America, I think a lot of you were inside because you were snowed in. So we can relate with this story of Noah that we're going to look at today. Now, looking back to my honeymoon, part of the honeymoon, we were on a cruise ship. But it was raining all the time, and the weather, there was a cyclone or some sort of thing in Madagascar at that stage. And when you see the permanent crew watching with camcorders and recording the swells, then you know this is not normal. But it had the effect that most of the time we were inside the ship. We couldn't go out. It was raining. It was miserable. Now imagine, well, you can, if you're from America listening to this or looking at this, imagine how that is to be inside the whole time. You get cabin fever. Everyone is in everyone's hair. Similar to here in South Africa when you go on holiday to the beach and you are looking forward to this beautiful beach holiday, but you are inside the whole time because it's raining. That is miserable. It's horrible. So looking at the story of Noah, we can imagine how that must have felt. Let's read from that passage. But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a righteous man, blameless in his generation. Noah walked with God, and Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now the earth was corrupt in God's sight, and the earth was filled with violence. And God saw the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way of the earth. And God said to Noah, I have determined to make an end to all flesh, for the earth is filled with violence through them. Behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make rooms in the ark and cover it inside and out with pitch. This is how to make it. The length of the ark, 300 cubits, its breadth, 50 cubits, and its height, 30 cubits. Make a roof for the ark, and finish it with cubit above, and set the door of the ark in its side. Make it with lower, second, and third decks. For behold, I will bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh, in which is the breath of life under heaven. Everything that is on the earth shall die, but I will establish my covenant with you, and you shall come into the ark, you, your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives with you. And of every living thing of all flesh you shall bring 2 of every sort into the ark to keep them alive with you. They shall be male and female. Of the birds according to their kinds, and of the animals according to their kinds, of every creeping thing of the ground, according to its kind, 2 of every sort shall come into you to keep them alive. Also take with you every sort of food that is eaten, and store it up. It shall serve as food for you and for them. Noah did this, and he did all that God commanded him. So what the story of Noah wants to tell us, before we can look at just this story, we need to take into account what the first hearers of this story heard. It's possible that they were from exile or post-exile and were in the vicinity of the Persians, listening to the Persians' version of their flood stories. And there's one epic story of Gilgamesh where they told about the gods being angry at the people. And the gods got furious because the people were screaming and shouting, and they were just horrible, didn't bring enough offers to the gods and stuff like that. So they said, let's get rid of all these people. Let's start afresh. Marduk, you're our guy, get rid of all these. And he was going to send a flood. But there was a goddess called Ea, or Enki, and she saw a guy called Utnapishtim, which she was in love with. And she warned him to build a boat. He built the boat and he was saved. How this story is different in this account of Noah is God doesn't just save one person. God saves Noah, he saves his sons, he saves God's wife, he saves the sons' wives, and all the animals. God is a God of provision. God is a God with a plan because it's building forward. Whereas the gods in the Mesopotamian story later on realized, but there's no food. How are we going to get food now? There's no one to bring their offerings to us. What we can take from this story is what we can take for life as well. This pause that we take each week when listening to a Bible narrative or going to church, we can use that to remind us of how we are part of God's ark currently. Because if we look at that story, it's an ark that was built. It was not a boat. The ark would have reminded them of the ark of the covenant of God, where God's presence was with the people during their walk through the wilderness. In this ark, in this place, where we see something of God's provision through other people by being together or listening to this story, we see something of God's provision. We see how God goes and continues with people going forward. We are not alone. I think it encourages us to pause somewhere in the week and to make this part of our rhythm of life, and also to go forward. How we share this provision, how we share God's presence with other people. May you find the opportunity in this week to do that. May you see God's provision in your life as well. And may you experience God's presence in your daily walk. Have a good day. Cheers.